Today we're going to be creating a relief print using a piece of foam that we are going to draw into with pencil, and that's going to create a lowered and raised surface that we're going to put ink on to create the body of our alligator. I have some already printed copies here that actually don't have the drawn alligator, just so you can see this is the first step of our project here, is to create the body of our alligator. So we're going to be talking about printmaking. Okay, so that is a way to create an image over and over and over again. This will be what we call our plate. It is just a piece of styrofoam, and it's soft, so you can write on it, and that's going to cause indentations. So we're going to be doing printmaking to create what is called a print. Okay. We are going to talk a lot about texture, real texture, and also implied texture. So the body of an alligator is very textural, so we probably think it's kind of rough, it's scaly, probably hard, okay, maybe even kind of sharp because of the roughness, I would imagine. I haven't petted too many alligators before, though. So we're going to create a real texture. The indentations that we're going to create in this foam will be real, but then they will create an implied texture to give this rough looking texture for the body of our alligator, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Some things you will definitely want to use, some line, probably even some zigzag line for this. This is my foam piece. Now, you can draw on here with a Sharpie first, if that's what you're more comfortable with, because the Sharpie is soft and will not cause indentations. Once you start writing with a pencil, and you want to make sure it's sharp but not overly sharp, so if it's just been sharpened, you may want to get a piece of paper and dull it down a little bit, okay? If it's too sharp, it will actually cut the foam, and that's not what we want to do. So you want to focus on line, you can focus on pattern, you can create shapes. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to go over all my Sharpie marks, and where I've really darkened it, I'm going to kind of fill in. So anywhere that you press with your pencil is going to make an indentation, and wherever you make an indentation, once we put the ink on top, the indentations will stay the white of the paper. Anything that's raised will have the ink and will put the color on the paper. So anything that's colored in with the pencil will stay white on our print. Anything that is raised will be colored. Okay? And you might have to go over this twice just to make sure you really push down, because if you don't press hard enough, it won't indent properly, and then once you put the ink on there, it will be filled in and also print. Okay? So that's nice and finished. So now what I've got to do is I'm going to put ink on this and print this. Now, I will have a table set up at the back of the classroom. That will be our inking station. Once you've inked your plate, we call this a plate, your printmaking plate, you will take this to your table and print at your table. So the only thing you need to take to the inking table is this. You will leave your paper at your table. Inking tray. This is called a brayer, okay? This is what we roll the ink with. And then I have special printmaking ink. I'm just going to go with green. You guys may have, I may give you all a few more options than this. It will already be laid out in the tray for you. Again, you will do the inking at the back table. You will do the printing. That's where you take this and stamp it on your paper at your table. So you're going to take the brayer, You roll one way. Notice I'm kind of holding the tray, and you roll another way. That way you're fully coating the roller. Okay? Again, you're going to get a little messy with this. I'm going to roll one way. Okay? I might even roll this way. And you can see my lines were pretty well indented because no ink is really filling in those spots. So I want to go in the center of my page as best as I can. Okay, I don't want to go too close to the top or too close to the bottom because remember, I still have to draw my alligator. So very carefully, I'm going to hold it between my fingers like so, flip it over, find the middle-ish, hold it down with two fingers, let go, gently hold, press, and rub. And this is going to make a print. So the cool thing about this is you may really like this piece that you created, and you could print that over and over and over again to recreate the same image on different pieces of paper. You could even create the same image over and over. Okay, so we'll end up keeping these. Notice I'm holding it down because if you don't hold it down, you may move it, and that's going to move your print and then cause your ink to get in places that you didn't want it. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good. I'm just going to kind of lift up one corner. Look at that. Oh, that turned out really nice. Since we read the book, if you ever want to bring an alligator to school, don't. We are drawing our alligators in school. Now, whatever you want your alligator to be doing at school is completely up to you. Maybe your alligator loves to learn, and they're there to do all the math problems. Maybe your alligator, like mine, really loves art class but got a little too excited and knocked over some paint and then decided to take that paint and draw on the walls. Because you got to remember, alligators are really big. They get like 12 feet tall, okay, or 12 feet long. So it decided it needed the wall as its canvas. Okay, so mine's causing a little bit more mischief than we'd probably like at school. But that's part of the fun. And notice how I've created texture in the rest of the alligator. So we're going to use texture rubbing plates. So for this project, we're going to use crayon. You can draw in pencil first. I think I'm going to draw directly with crayon. So I want mine to have an open mouth. So I'm going to start. If you need to, you can practice with your finger. Because again, we have a fairly large body, so we need to create a fairly large face and tail. So I'm going to create two triangles, where you can think like two big, like part of a zigzag line. Okay. Then what's at the back end? It's a tail. You can do a triangle tail like this, or if you want to, you could do a diagonal line and then a curved line to meet that. And I think that's how I'm going to make mine, because again, you can kind of see that here in the tail. Now, what do alligators have on top of their head? They have eyes. They have their eyeballs, so they can see above the water. Okay, so for that, I'm going to do a curved line and then another curved line. Make that one a little bigger, and the one right here is a little bit smaller because that's the one closer to us. I'm also going to give it an eyelid. Okay, now what else does my alligator need? My alligator needs legs. And how many legs does an alligator have? They have 4. I'm going to keep this fairly simple. You can make yours more detailed if you want, but I'm just going to create some vertical lines. Go right here. Those are going to be a little shorter because those are the legs on the other side. And what do alligators have at the end of those legs? They have claws. So their claws are kind of sharp, so they might be kind of pointy. Again, talking about texture. So I'm just going to do some zigzag lines to create those claws. Now, what else does my alligator need that I haven't added yet? What do they have? Oh yeah, that's right. They have 74 Super sharp teeth. So again, to create those teeth, think zigzag line or lots of little triangles. You can even go zigga 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 zig. Look at that. Oh, it's already shaping up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my texture plate. I'm going to put it underneath my drawing. Okay? I'm going to find where I've drawn and put the texture plate. Then I'm going to take my crayon on its side and I'm going to rub back and forth. Now that my alligator is been printed and been drawn to, I've added the texture plate and color. I now need to ground my alligator because right now it's just floating in space. So that means I've got to put it on the ground. Now, do I want to draw a line right under its toes? No, I actually want to draw a line. And you can do this in crayon or you can do it in pencil. I think I'm going to do this part in pencil because I might add more objects to my drawing. So I'm going to go, if you need to practice, we're going to make a horizontal line going all the way across. And when you get to the legs, you'll stop and draw lines in between the legs and then keep going, okay? That way it looks like your alligator is standing on the ground. So very gently, just going to draw. I'm going to draw, 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 and stop. Same for here, and all the way across. Okay, and then I'm going to draw a setting. My alligator is going to be in school.